I've got a great idea.
Oh, tell me.
Want to chat about Star Trek?
Yeah.
Alright. What did we just watch? What episode was it?
We watched Haven.
Episode 8. Is it 8? 11.
11.
Episode 11.
Yes.
What's the premise of the Haven?
Counsellor Troi is in an arranged marriage with some humanoid.
Yeah, they come to the planet Haven, which is some kind of miraculous, peaceful place, wonderful world.
It has legends of healing properties.
Yeah, and that is when they're going to get married there, or they just happen to be there.
I think, well, the ship went there to have a rest, and then they got a message.
Right.
In a weird box with a face on it.
When I saw the weird box, well, what happened is in the transporter room, a box appeared, and there was a face inside the box. It looked like something from a horror movie. There's a horror movie called Society, where people eat each other.
Yeah.
Aye, and there's an arsehole, and someone's head appears at the asshole.
What?
Yeah, and it's they appear out of the asshole like that, like we saw in Haven, like that. The face appears. It's supposed to be like a horror movie. Well, it is a horror movie from the 80s. It is gross. It's body horror. It's but a commentary on class culture commentary. Faces coming out of assholes, and briefly that moment in Haven reminded me of that. But you know what I said in my mind when that face appeared?
Huh.
I said, "This is bullshit."
Why?
Because it was just too silly. It was so dumb and so silly. Troy's there for an arranged marriage with this fella, Robert Napier, who was played Wyatt, and he's a great actor, character actor, appeared in Prison Break and stuff. Really good in this. He was really good. He had a lot of charisma with Troy, don't you think?
Yeah, the acting was good. The story was a bit odd.
Very odd, straight from the jump. Like you see Riker in his room. He's watching hologram porn or something. That's basically what it is. He's watching little women
play for him.
But really it's trying to tell you, wink wink, he's watching porn.
Because that's who he is.
He's watching future porn.
He likes the ladies.
This episode was
future
pervy. The word is pervy. That keeps coming into my mind. Just pervy. It's just fucking pervy, this whole episode.
A little dirty.
Pervy, dirty, scummy, and irritating. That's another word. This irritated me. I was irritated more through this episode than any other episode. That Jean-Luc carrying the luggage. But it's like, what is this? Comic relief? I felt like I was watching a comic version of Star Trek. He's carrying the luggage in a very comedic manner.
Now, the first part of the show was the tone was odd.
Deanna Troi's mother appears, and she's so annoying.
Oh, you didn't like her?
No, did you like her?
I like bits of her.
Like what?
I don't know. I just thought I like the actress. I think her acting's good.
Okay.
I believe that character. Like, she would be that annoying.
She certainly sold me on being annoying. Do you? So she did her job. Don't tell me she comes back in the future.
Oh, she does.
Oh, fuck, I don't want to see her again.
No, it's good.
It's not good. She was so annoying.
Okay.
She kept talking about, this person likes to, because she can read minds, right? What do they call them? The Betazoids. Is that what it is? The Betazoids? The Betazoids?
Betazoids, yeah.
She's a Betazoid, and they can read your mind, right? So she's reading everyone's mind, and apparently everyone just wants to see her naked. Everyone, even Picard. They all just want to see this old lady naked. And I'm like,
you don't buy it.
No, I don't buy it. And what was the deal with Data? What was going on with him?
They try to make him, he's much different in the next seasons.
I guess they were trying to make him curious. He was all curious about the bickering and stuff.
He's into human nature, right? So, but it just comes off as odd in this first season. Like, I don't remember him like this.
He had that strange gurning face when they were bickering at the dinner table.
They showed that like 3 times, the same thing.
I was waiting for it to be a thing, but it wasn't.
It was weird.
It was just sort of Data wandering around, curiously looking at people. And I guess that's the thing, but it was kind of just strange. This whole episode was strange.
It felt weird.
And then, so she is supposed to be getting a marriage to this fellow Wyatt from her old. It's all about, classic Star Trek protocols, traditions, customs, and your loyalty to these things. And so she's getting married to this guy, and then suddenly a Tyrellian ship appears on the horizon, and it's not answering. I thought this was going to be the episode. This was going to be where all the drama came from. This ship that appears, potentially hazardous. It's got a weird plague in it, yeah, and it's not answering to calls. So we don't know its intentions.
It's just that they don't answer for a very long time, and then when they do, the lights slowly come on, and then the power's on, and they look fine.
Yeah, they look alright. Yeah, I thought this was going to be the whole episode, and if you think about it, it would have been they should have made way more of that. So say you've got this Tyrellian vessel, and it's the people inside are the last of their race, I suppose, and they're all quarantined, like now, and they need help, so they're going to this miraculous planet. But the people on the planet are saying to Picard, no, these people are dangerous, and you as Starfleet have to protect us. But Picard destroy the ship
immediately.
But Picard says, actually, these people are in danger, and they need protecting too. So you're telling me to destroy them, but they need protecting. And it was a real
what do you do?
Conundrum, and I thought that they were going to focus more on that, but they didn't.
No, it's about naked weddings.
Naked weddings and lurch-looking dudes getting drunk and hitting bells repeatedly and getting on my nerves.
It's just a weird episode. Maybe
Where was Crusher? Where was Wesley Crusher?
That's right.
You know what they did with his wardrobe that day? They gave it to that guy Wyatt, Robert Nepper. He was wearing Crusher's wardrobe.
That was little boy wear.
I also thought it was interesting, the old planet Haven, and the idea that it's a miraculous, mythic planet maybe, and it has potential to heal people, sort of like Lourdes, where people go to Lourdes for pilgrimages and hope for miracles, for cures. And I thought that was neat, and this spaceship coming for that reason. I just felt they could have used that, could have just taken more juice from that orange. They never.
Yeah, that was more of a appetizer.
What did you, say you're getting married to a datazoid.
A datazoid?
Sorry, a burgazoid. What do you call them?
Betazoid.
Betazoid. Say you're getting married to a betazoid. Would you be able to handle it? Because you said earlier on, before we even watched this, you said to me, have you ever thought that people are looking at you and reading your thoughts?
Because, randomly, they're like, okay, so at work, I looked up and this guy was looking at me. And then, but he looked at me like he was, like he recognized me, or it was like that kind of look, or it wasn't just like a random look, Did
you recognize him?
No.
How old was he?
40s, probably.
What was his expression?
I don't know. It looked like it was more than just like a passing glance. It was like you're looking, as in thinking of something. Was there like bread behind you or something? Was he thinking of white bread or brown bread? But it was just. But then I got like paranoid. It's like, sometimes you catch somebody looking at you and like, do they have powers? No, I found it insane now. Just scanning your brain. Until my head explodes. Yeah. Right. He was a scanner. Disturbing. So would you date a betazoid who can read your thoughts all the time? Because that would be a bit of a... There's not a balance there, right? If you're just an ordinary human being like Wyatt in this episode, and you've got to go and date a betazoid person who can read your thoughts. I think it would depend if they were raised betazoid, because they're in their customs. They don't, honesty is just commonplace. So if you're thinking like a shady thought, or they're probably like, okay, that's just how you are. I think we'd be a little bit less judgmental than perhaps we are. So pros and cons, I would think. I mean, obviously, I'm a private person, but... Yeah, you don't give yourself freely, even your thoughts. You don't just share them with anyone. No. So,
you'd have to have some major trust with a Betazoid.
You'd have to, yeah.
Plus the naked wedding thing, I don't know.
The naked wedding thing. They would apparently they had were getting married and everyone had to be naked, although they never got married because I guess Wyatt went away with the Trillian ship. Everything was all hunky dory.
Okay, explain that. Explain.
Right. Okay. So he is Wyatt is, I guess, a doctor, and he just wants to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So all of his life he dreamt of a woman. He dreamt of this mysterious looking blonde lady, and then suddenly the Trillian ship appears, and then the lights go on, like you mentioned earlier, and then there she is, this woman that he dreamed of, and she's on the bridge of that Trillian ship.
So basically she was like whispering in his ear his entire life, oh, you need to be a doctor so you can cure us.
Or she was saying, this is the one who will help us, this is the one who will save us, this person.
So was it like what is their connection? I didn't quite understand the conversation between...
I think that the Trillian ship were there because they were drawn there, and he was there because he was drawn there, and their fates are destined to meet.
Is that what she was saying?
I don't know. I was kind of confused
because
myself.
I was thinking, okay, Luoxana was talking about how we're all connected.
Yeah.
Consciousness is all connected, and that's how they found each other. But why?
I don't know. I'd have to know more about the Trillians, what their race can do. And all they said about them was that their intelligence was sort of like ours.
Yeah.
Like late 20th century stupid people.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I didn't really explain it too much.
Yeah, I feel like I missed something in that conversation that I was supposed to pick up on, and like why they connected.
I think the only reason they seemed to connect was on a surface level. He drew her for a long time, and he was kind of obsessed with his face, and then she appeared. He's like, oh yeah, you. Oh, by the way, I've always wanted to help people. Let me go and cure your plague-ridden gross ship. And then they left with a big smile on her face, thinking, thank you, Enterprise. Wyatt will help us.
And off.
Yeah, and Diana, you don't have to marry me anymore. So you're free for Commander Riker later on. And no one got naked in the wedding, which would have been really weird.
And just weird, like, poor Picard.
Poor Picard. Picard was kind of like fodder for this episode. He was comic relief. Everybody was comic relief in this episode. Data and Picard, and except for Riker, he was just sort of like the brooding, grumpy teenager in the background, pissed off. Pouty. Yeah. So, in the words of Jean-Luc Picard, I was not amused. So
good.
I would give this Star Trek episode 3 Treks out of 10 starships.
That is a garbage episode.
To me, that was garbage.
Oof.
That was space garbage. I really never want to watch it again. I thought it was crap. I felt like I was watching a Lost in Space episode from the 60s. Really
too silly
and goofy and camp, and I was waiting for the music to go something like that, but it never happened.
Yeah.
Maybe it was filler. This was a filler episode. They needed a cheap episode without much sets, so they just used what they had and brought some actresses in or whatever, and this is what it felt like, cobbled together garbage.
The characterizations aren't how I remember them, so they will change.
All right. No,
better.
They just need to steer the ship back to where it was last week.
There you go.
Right. If you've taken the wrong course, reverse, go back there and come back somewhere else.
Our destiny is elsewhere.
Yeah. Want to chat about something else?
Okay.
All right.